Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Mandy Hancock, and I'm the Customer Success Director here at Rhinogram. Today's webinar is our product showcase. We will highlight new features from our last two releases. Before we get started today, let's review a few housekeeping items. First, today's session will be recorded and placed within our Rhinogram University course catalog. To locate the catalog, log into Rhinogram, navigate to the question mark icon in the top right-hand corner, and select Rhinogram University. Second, we will have time at the end of today's session to answer questions you may have. To ask a question, please use the GoToWebinar control panel. Last but not least, each new feature will be reviewed in a PowerPoint presentation, and then we will jump into the Rhinogram application to demonstrate each feature. So let's get started. With me today is Elizabeth Pickle, our Implementation and Training Specialist. We are going to cover the following new features and capabilities: using app mentions within team chat, member invitations and availability, creating variables and templates, codified appointment reminder notifications, mobile notification alerts, and phone labels for contacts. I'm going to be turning the first portion of this presentation over to Elizabeth. Take it away.
Thanks, Mandy. Hey, everyone. We are going to first highlight our team chat enhancements. You can now direct chat with multiple members and @mention team members within a chat conversation. Currently, team members can only chat with one other team member unless creating a team chat group. Now you can select multiple team members and directly chat with them on the fly, hence making everybody more efficient. Next, you can @mention one or more team members in a chat conversation. If the team members have their notifications set, they will be notified that they have been @mentioned. It will add a task for them under the new @mentions inbox located under the My Task area. We felt it was important to create @mentions because we understand that a lot of team members out there are constantly chatting within Rhinogram, and during the day things can sometimes get lost in translation. So we felt like if we created @mention, as people are chatting with one another, they can @mention whomever, and it would create that task for them to go back to and follow up later on in the day. Next up is member availability. We felt it was important to create this feature as well because we think each team member needs to know whether or not other team members are active when they're messaging patients or chatting with one another. So there are some rules around member availability. If a team member is inactive in Rhinogram for longer than 10 minutes, a gray dot's going to display on the member's avatar. So the member must be active in Rhinogram for the availability indicator to be green. Further, on the mobile app, you first have to have it downloaded on your phone, and you have to be active in Rhinogram for the availability indicator to be green as well. Now let's take a closer look. All right, so now that I'm logged into Rhinogram, I'm going to show everybody how to access our direct messaging with more than one team members. The first thing you're going to want to do once you've logged in is navigate down to team messages and then select direct. Once you select direct in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you want to navigate to where the green plus symbol is and select that. Make sure to select multiple members, and this will allow you to search for the members that you want to enter a chat in. So I'm going to search for Sally, select her, and then I'm also going to search for, let's see here. When I'm ready to chat with these team members, I'm just going to select the green Go button, and that drops me into the team chat thread. You can see over here on the left-hand side of the screen that the only member that's active within Rhinogram is Rhino Bird, indicated by the green availability indicator here. Fake member and Sally Surname are not active in Rhinogram, showing the gray dot. Now, let's say that I'm chatting back and forth between Sally Surname and Fake member, and I actually want Sally to follow up on something for me later that day. All I have to do is select the @ symbol, and you can see when I do that, her name pops up. I'm then able to select her name. I can ask her whatever I need to be completed, and when I'm ready and I've typed out that content, I then can select the green paper airplane. If Sally has her notification set, she will get a notification that she has an @ mention, and she can log into Rhinogram if she's not already in and check that out @ mention. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the rest of our slide deck. All right, so the next enhancement we did has to do with member invitation. So attention all super users. Now when you add your team members into Rhinogram, you can decide that you want to go ahead and send the invitation now, or you can choose to send that at a later date. Next, we've done an enhancement on our templates. We now can include variables in templates. This is just another way to help your team be more efficient when they're messaging back and forth with patients. The variables we currently support deal with demographics, appointment, and organization information. So let's dive back into the product so you guys can see these enhancements. All right, super users, when you're adding a new team member, you're going to navigate up to the gear icon and then select members. When you're ready to create a team member, you select the green plus symbol in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Let's scroll on down so you can see these two enhancements that we've made. As you can see here, you have the choice to go ahead and add and invite the member, which would send the email invite immediately, or you can add the team member. We felt it was important to do this because some super users feel like, you know what, let's go ahead and send them that welcome email so they can get logged in, while others feel after team training, I'm going to add the member, so I might wait until that team member has been trained. Now we're going to move over to templates. So once again, back up to the gear icon, and now we're going to select templates. This drops us into the templates library. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new template by selecting the green plus symbol in the upper right-hand corner. I am going to title my template follow-up because I want to follow up on a patient after they had an appointment. So I'm going to type out my message. Select the variable I would like to use, which I want to tell them who's contacting them. Also let them know what practice name is. You can see in the message preview. And if you're a fast typer like me, you're going to have to go and edit the template.
Give us one moment, guys. We're getting some feedback that we're not able to see the screen.
Looks like you can now. Sorry about that. All right, so now that I have written my template out, hopefully everybody can see the screen now. Essentially, what I was doing is titling the template. So I had originally, for those of you that did not see our screen, we apologize that we did not realize the screen was not displaying. In order to create a template with variable, you're going to navigate to the gear icon and select templates. Once there, you're going to select the green plus symbol. I know all of you already know this because I'm sure you're creating tons of templates. Once you select that green plus symbol, it will drop you into the screen where you can create the template. So as you can see here, I've already written out the title of the template, which is follow-up. I want to follow up with a patient after their appointment. I started writing out the content of the message that I want to send, and I chose to select the variable sending member first name and then organization name, because I don't want to have to type my name or the practice's name. So this, in a sense, makes me so much more efficient. So once I have typed that up and I'm ready to send that, I'm going to go ahead and create that template. So you can see the template was created here. And since I want to go ahead and send this template out now to some patients, I'm going to favorite this template so it shows the top of my list view and conversation threads. So I'm going to navigate over here to the front desk inbox, and I think I'm going to send this template over to Mustang. I want to follow up on their care. So in order to send a template to a patient in a conversation thread, I'm going to select the plus symbol at the bottom of the conversation and then use template. You can see here, I can access everything that is in the templates library, but what's great is because I have favorited the follow-up template, there it is at the top of my list view. I'm now going to simply select that template. You can see that it has now pre-populated in the message thread, and what's awesome is it's grabbed my first name and the organization. So once again, templates and variables definitely going to help you and your team be more efficient. When I'm ready to send the message, I select the green paper airplane, and we are now texting with our patients. All right, Mandy, I'm going to hand this back off to you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. All right, so let's move on to the next few enhancements and features that we would like to cover today. So the first one is our mobile notification alert. We have added a new notification that's called Enable Alternative Sound. The purpose behind this alert is to have the alert on your mobile device be a little bit louder and longer than our normal alert system. It was designed in mind for those people using Rhinogram during after hours. So think about this alert as something that could wake you up or actually draw your attention to your phone versus the normal alert system on your mobile device. Now, if you enable the alternative sound on your mobile device, it will use the alternative sound for all sections that you have mobile notifications turned on. The next notification we would like to alert you is around our appointment reminder notifications. Now, this is for our integrated customers who are currently integrated with your practice management system, and we'll showcase this in just a few minutes. But in the notification center, you are able to now allow Rhinogram to say whether or not you want to get specific notifications around appointment reminder responses. So let's say you send out appointment reminders 48 hours before those appointments, and you want to work those the next business day. You don't want Rhinogram to notify you when those types of responses come into the inbox. So you could turn those notifications off and then simply just work those the next business day. The next item is the phone label. So this is a way in our contact record to be able to label the phone and see who it belongs to. So think of a pediatric patient that's coming into the practice who has multiple phone numbers associated to their record. So you have mom's number and dad's number. You can label those numbers accordingly so that you know who you're communicating with. For our integrated customers, that phone label will be based on the information that we receive from your practice management system. So if you're labeling there, we will pull that information over into the Rhinogram application. Rhino Blast. Everyone has been waiting for this feature for quite some time. We're very proud to announce that it's currently in beta. So what is Rhino Blast? Rhino Blast allows you to send the same message to up to 50 contacts at the same time. You're able to build a list of contacts so you can use that contact list over and over without having to manually select those each and every time. All right, so let's take a closer look at all of those features. All right, so now that we're in Rhinogram, the first thing we're going to showcase are those new notification alerts. Once you're in Rhinogram, we're going to navigate up to the very top where our initials are, and we're going to select our initials, and then we're going to select the Preferences option under My Settings. Once you select that, it will open up the normal notification screen, and the two items we'd like to point out on the screen are the codified appointment reminder responses. So again, this is saying, do you want Rhinogram to notify you anytime you get a response from an appointment reminder? It's still going to show up in the inbox and still show you the badge count, but this is specifically asking if you or your staff would like notifications. You can set those for mobile or desktop accordingly. And don't forget to always hit the Update Preferences button located at the very bottom right-hand corner of your screen. The other notification that we're going to point out in this screen is the new Enable Alternative Sound. Remember, if you enable this notification setting, it will apply for all groups that you have set for mobile notifications. So for example, if I say I want mobile notifications for all of my direct team messages and all of the patient messages that I'm assigned to, and then I enable this sound, this new alarm setting will apply to all of those groups. Simply toggle it on or off, and don't forget to update preferences to take full effect. Now let's navigate into our contact record. So I'm going to go over to our front desk inbox, and I'm going to go ahead and select on the Yukon patient. Notice over here on the right, we just have a cell phone number for this given contact. To add a new phone label, simply select the Edit Profile button and locate the area with the phone number. So we have the phone type of cell, but now the new phone label field is there, so you can add a phone label. So if I wanted to write mom's cell or whatever label you would like, you just enter that there and then scroll all the way to the bottom of the contact record and click Update Contact. Once you do that, you'll see that the new phone label does replace those generic labels that we put in for home, work, or sale. Now, last but not least, I'd like to demonstrate our Rhino Blast. So to start a Rhino Blast message, first remember this feature is in beta. So once it's out of beta, we anticipate that to be the end of the month. Anyone and everyone could use this feature. The first thing you want to do is you want to find the contact list you want to send the Rhino Blast message to. So we're going to start by navigating to the top to the global search and selecting search users. Now there's a couple new features within this screen. The first is the new checkbox located here in the bottom right-hand corner called Select Multiple Contacts. It's important to note that you must select this checkbox before you can select multiple contact records. So simply check that box, and it's going to tell you that you have 0 out of 50 contacts selected currently. To start building your list, simply start typing the name of the contacts that you would like to send a Rhino Blast message to. So we'll start by saying we want to send a message to our Yukon patient. Once you select that contact, it will ask you to add another name. Now we'll do our Mustang. We're going to select Mustang. I think we have someone called Oldsmobile, so we're going to select our Oldsmobile patient. And finally, our Cadillac. So we're going to select Cadillac. Now, once we have all the names selected from the list, you have two options. Option 1 is to save this contact list so that it's easy to navigate to in the future and you do not have to keep searching and building this list on the fly. So to do that, in the bottom left-hand corner, you have an option called Save Contact Selection. Once that's selected, it's going to ask you to name this list. The list does need to be uniquely named, and if you try to use the same name twice, it will alert you. So we're going to just name this list Cars for today's demonstration, and we're going to go ahead and hit Save. Once you've saved the list, notice in the bottom left-hand corner, now I'm on a list called Cars that has 4 contacts associated. If you wanted to add a 5th and 6th person to this list, you simply just continue searching. You would search for the list, and once you have the list or the additional name that you want, then you would simply add them to the list. Once you add the 5th or 6th name to the list, you can click Update. So let me take Yukon off and let me just add Yukon back. So you'll see here that once I select Yukon, it's going to ask me if I want to update or save the list. If you click Save As, you can rename or save this list as a new name. Again, remember these names must be unique. To start over, you can simply select Clear All, and that will remove all the contacts from the list. If you've previously saved a name or a list of contacts, you can access that list by navigating to the top left-hand corner and clicking Saved List. Once you do that, it's going to show you a list of all the previously saved lists along with the number of contacts in each list. Now, once you get your list built, the second option is to message the contacts. Now, please remember, you do not have to save the list of contacts before you message. You can simply just search for names and add them to the list of Message Blast and don't save the actual patients in a list. So to move to the next step, once you have your contacts selected, simply click the Message Contacts button, and it's going to open the next screen that's going to still allow you to unselect anyone in case you've mistakenly selected someone from the list. You can also add more contacts if you've forgotten someone by simply selecting Add More Contacts. Once your contact list is accurate and you have everyone in the list that you would like, the next step is to message the contacts. Now you can either type the message here, like you do in the composed message box within a conversation thread, or you can use a template. So the same familiar plus sign in the compose area is here for your use. Simply click the plus sign and select Use Template. That same template list that Elizabeth showed earlier will then display for you to use within the Rhino Blast screen. So for today's presentation, I'm going to say I'm going to use this inclement weather template, which has the variables that Elizabeth went over so that the patient or the contact will know exactly who they're getting the message from and where the message is coming from. Last but not least, you must select the channel. So this means that you need to select the phone number of the practice that you want the outbound message coming from. In our demonstration organization today, we have 2 phone numbers. So we get to decide which phone number we want this outbound message sent from. If you only have one, only one will be listed here, but it will not default pre-selected. You must select the channel as a confirmation. So once we select the actual channel, we're ready to confirm and send this message to these 4 contacts. I'm going to use this bottom right-hand corner called Confirm Message and select that to send the message to all the contacts. Now, what will happen is it's going to show those messages in the thread of the conversation. So let me go ahead and just see if I can, did you get it? All right, so you'll see here that Yukon was one of those patients that we had in that. So just like any other conversation that was sent out, it's going to show in the thread for the contact. You'll see that we already have one contact who has responded to us, and it's going to work like any other text message between your contacts. Another thing I would like to point out is when you go to the contacts button in the bottom left-hand corner of the Rhinogram screen, you're going to see two tabs at the top. The first tab is your individual contact list. This is a list of all contacts that you've previously saved in your account, whether we've imported those in a CSV file, whether you're integrated, or whether you're manually entering your contacts. The second tab is the new saved list that goes with Rhino Blast. So all the list of patients that you've created using the screen we showed previously will be here, and you can simply click it to actually see the contacts in the list, and you can also delete the list if you would like, using this bottom right-hand delete list option. All right, so let's move back to our PowerPoint. Now that we've highlighted all the features that we plan to cover in today's webinar, we're going to go over just a few items before we move into the question and answer section of this presentation. We wanted to remind you of our customer referral program. We're very much excited to share the love of Rhinogram, and if you share the love with your fellow coworkers and peers, you could get a reward. So here's how it works. You could take this template that we've sent here and create a template called referral in your system and send those text messages to other peers in the field that you work in. And then if that particular person signs up with Rhinogram and completes a demonstration within 30 days, you're going to get $10 off of your next month's bill. So the more you share, the more money you save. And when your colleagues actually sign up for Rhinogram services, both you and the referee that you referred will be entered into a quarterly drawing. Next, we just wanted to highlight our customer support hours. This is something new for our support team. So just so everyone on the call is aware, our support team is available from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We are available either by phone or text at the number shown on the screen, or you can email us at success@rhinogram.com. You can also submit an issue or an idea by using the question mark within the Rhinogram application and selecting the idea submission option from the menu. If you have a critical issue to report outside of normal business hours, you must call 423-800-7644 and select option 1. You will leave a voicemail for our support team, and we will respond to you as quickly as possible. Now this moves us into the questions and answer section of the screen. So let's see if we can review those questions. All right, so it looks like the first question we have is, it looks like some of these are a little bit, okay, so one of them is we have 3 office locations for appointment reminders.
Creating a custom variable based on the appointment, like the location.
Oh, I see here. Okay, so we have 3 office locations for appointment reminders. So can you make one? What if the variable is not there? Can you custom make one? Okay, well, the answer to that is you cannot. So we only have specific variables that are supported. Those are around like the contact, first name and last name, your organization name, appointment date and time, if we have that information in Rhinogram if you're integrated. So you cannot make custom variables today. Okay, here's another question. In order to add a team member, does each member of the staff have to have their own email address? Elizabeth, why don't you take that one?
Hey, yeah, awesome. So in order to add in team members into Rhinogram, each team member does have to have a unique email address. This is due to HIPAA privacy and security. We want to make sure our environment is as secure as it can be. So to answer your question, yes, each person does have to have an individualized email address. And just to let you know, if they do not have a work email address, they can use their personal one. Please keep in mind we are not sending them any type of marketing materials. This is just for login and forgot password purposes. So great question.
Awesome. Let's see. So here's another one. We've got how to send appointment reminders. So in Rhinogram, currently to send an appointment reminder, that is an automated system set up if you're integrated with your practice management system. So for example, if you're a Dolphin user or a TOPS Ortho user or a Cloud9 user, whoever you use for your practice management system, we can allow an integration with your practice management system that would pull over patient demographic data and appointment data. That appointment data could then be set up so that we can send an appointment created message when the appointment is made, and then a reminder at some pre-configured time before the appointment. And that is sent automatically using Rhinogram configuration. All right, so I think this question too is, you're very welcome. So we have a question here that says, we have 3 locations for appointment reminders. The info is pulled from Cloud9, correct? So yes, if you're a Cloud9 customer, currently we do pull appointment data from Cloud9. That's synced every night for Cloud9, and then you are able to use our appointment reminder system. We do pull office location data from Cloud9. So as long as the locations in Rhinogram match your Cloud9 locations, then you can use the location information in the appointment reminder to identify which location the patient should go to. Awesome. It looks like I answered your question. All right, so let's see. Okay, it looks like maybe some of the information, I know the screen was kind of, yeah, so it looks like most of these comments are around the screen that was kind of looked like it was stuck or something at some point. So I see a couple questions about we didn't get to see the member ad or the member invite information. And so we're happy to redo that portion of the presentation if that's something that the team needs or all of you need. Let's see if we've got anything else. All right, let's see. There's a couple more questions. Is it just Cloud9 that you can send office location if you have more than one location? So there's 2. We're just kind of conversing to make sure that our memory is correct here. There are only 2 currently practice management systems that support the location in the appointment reminder. One is Cloud9 and the other is Athena for our medical practices on the call. All right, let's see. If we have not signed up for Rhinogram yet, where can we access the recording? So the recording is only going to be located in our Rhinogram University course catalog, which is only specific to our existing customers. You're very welcome. How can we retrieve past conversations? So in Rhinogram, you're able to go up to the global search. We can show this too. Go up to the global search and you can see any history if you've closed the conversation. If that's the question that we're answering, we're happy to show that as well.
You can also check out if you are a super user or have, administrative privileges and you're wanting to see some past conversations. If you have access to the analytics dashboard, we do keep up with all open and closed conversations. So that's another quick, easy way to have access to who your team members are talking to, whether those messages are opened or closed. You can also check out the audit log. We are auditing everything that's occurring within the Rhinogram application. So another way, if you're not wanting to navigate to the global search and search for the patient and go to the conversation thread.
Okay, yeah, we can certainly show that. Okay, and so it looks like somebody is also answering that in TOPS. If you're a TOPS ortho customer on the call, you can actually see the conversation in TOPS chart. So TOPS ortho is one customer that is supported that has a very seamless integration, and we're built into TOPS ortho. So from the TOPS ortho application, you're able to access Rhinogram, and all the conversations that you have with your patients are located directly in the TOPS chart. Okay, so we're going to jump back into Rhinogram for a few minutes and show a couple things that perhaps did not get shown, just in case for those that would like to kind of hang out with us here and make sure that they see that. So we're going to make sure that everyone sees how to view historical conversations, and then Elizabeth will go back over that member section.
Okay, so if you're wanting to access any type of conversation thread you may have closed with a patient, you can always come up to the global search. And don't forget, you can search by multiple identifiers here, so that's pretty handy. But you can type in the patient's name that you're wanting to access, and you can select the name, and that will drop you into the conversation thread. And of course, we keep a permanent uneditable record of all communication. So no matter how far back the history goes with the patient, when you search them, you can access that thread and scroll in the thread. Another way for you to access communications between your patients, once again, if you have administrative capabilities, you can navigate to the analytics dashboard that's right up here by logout and the question mark. Select that and scroll to the very bottom where you see conversation activity, and you can monitor all messages that have been open, as you see here, or all messages that have been closed. If you're wanting to actually enter into any of those conversation threads, you would select the contact name that is underlined, and when you do that, it would drop you into the conversation between you and said contact. One more way you can check out conversations is navigate to the gear icon and select audit log. Once again, this is an administrative capability. So here you can see all things that's going on in your Rhinogram account and drill into the details on those conversations. The next thing we want to show, I know that somehow the screen got frozen when we were showing the new member invite. So I'm going to go over that really quickly again. So once again, back up to the gear icon we go, and I'm going to select members. This drops you into the screen with all of your members listed. I'm going to select the green plus symbol in order to create a new member. This drops us into the member creation screen. You can see here, once I add in the member's first and last name, remember you only have to add in the areas marked by a red asterisk. As somebody asked a little earlier, this is where you would put in the unique email address. When you scroll to the very bottom, you can now see this is where you can add and invite the member now. So the welcome email would be sent immediately so they could get their login information, or you can add the member, maybe like I said, you know, they haven't been trained yet, so you want to make sure they receive training, and then you'll invite them into Rhinogram. So I think that's everything that we needed to go over that maybe the screen froze on. Let's check out to make sure nobody asked anything.
You're very welcome. So is there any other questions? Please go ahead and add those to the question panel on the right-hand side in the GoToWebinar control. And we can go ahead and take those questions for the next few minutes if there's any unique questions we haven't answered. And if there's anything that you would like us to redo or reshow, we're happy to do that given the circumstance with the screen freezing. We apologize. All right, if we don't see any other questions come in, we can go ahead and start the wrap up here. I don't see anything coming in here at the last minute. All right, guys, well, we don't see any new questions. It looks like we've answered everything for today. So we would like to thank you very much from all of us at Rhinogram. Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you found this very, very helpful. And look out for other future webinar series. both on the product showcase and other things that we would like to share with you in the coming months. Y'all have a great day.